Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video series of Out of the Park. My name is Abhishek Shivaram and I'm the author of the book Out of the Park. In this video series, I'm going to be covering India's tour down under. I'm going to be breaking down games. I'm going to be giving you match analysis, mid and post-match analysis as well. Hopefully I can do that on a consistent basis, but I assume you're going to be keeping it locked, aren't you? In this particular episode, I know the One Day and the T20 International Series are going to be taking place first this time around, but this particular episode I'm going to be dedicating to my favorite test squads of the Australians from 2003-04 onwards. I did a similar video before India toured in 2018-19 and I gave a prediction of 2-0 in favor of India. India did win it, but 2-1. They managed to win 2 games and lost 1 game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be breaking down the squads of Australia right from 2003-04 and how they fared in 2018-19 because of a slightly inexperienced squad, in fact a very inexperienced squad in 2018-19, and how they could fare this time as compared to how India would fancy their chances on this tour down under. So this episode, like I said, is about the test squads. So let's get underway with it. 2003-04 was quite memorable for India because we leveled that series. After a very long time, India did look to be in their elements thanks to Rahul Dravid, who got 619, I think he got in that series, 619 runs in that series, and that famous 233 at Adelaide. He strung a very good partnership with VVS Lakshman, and of course Sourav Ganguly got 100, Sachin Tendulkar got a double 100, Ajit Agarkar got 6 wickets. So everybody contributed, and that series was also famously remembered for Sourav Ganguly, reportedly having said to the selection committee that I'm not going to be touring down under without Anil Kumble by my side, and they had to succumb in the end. So yes, India did have quite a bit of a happy hunting memory back then, and they leveled that series 1 each. In 2007-08, what happened was India did have a good squad and they did put up a very, very good fight, and I don't think we need to cry foul. Of course, we did have some real harsh decisions go against us, and we had the then captain, the very cool otherwise very cool Anil Kumble, making statements like just one team played in the spirit of the game. Unfortunately, it was that kind of a series. It was famously remembered for the Monkey Gate scandal, if you remember, between Harbhajan Singh and Andrew Symonds, and a whole lot of things. But that's how India-Australia series generally are. Both of them go hard at each other. Especially from the Sourav Ganguly era onwards, India had learned how to give it back, especially when the Aussies were sledging you, and of course they put up really great performances. So yes, India and Australia did play really hard. And then we went to Australia in 2011 and 12. Yeah, in 2007-08, by the way, we lost that series, I think 2-1. In 2011-12, I think it was quite a forgettable series. We lost 4-zip. But that was also largely due to some tired legs in the likes of Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin did get a few runs, but he wasn't in his element the way we know Sachin Tendulkar to be, and of course Rahul Dravid didn't contribute too much, but that series did give us a positive. We saw the coming of age of Virat Kohli. He, in my book I write as well, the way he transformed from a boy to a man, especially that innings, those 2 knocks at Perth, where he got 75 and 44 in both the innings, and the subsequent test match he got his maiden test century. So yes, the coming of age of Virat Kohli happened, but unfortunately India didn't have a great series. They were whitewashed 4-zip. So what we'll do right now is go through the squads of 2003-04, 7-8 and 11-12, and then proceed to 14-15. In 2003-04, they had Hayden, Langer, Katic, Waugh, Ponting, Gilchrist, Nathan Bracken, Bradley Williams, Andy Bickle, Jason Gillespie, Brett Lee, and Stuart McGill. So that was a very strong squad, and in spite of that, India managed to level that series 1-all. In 2007-8, I think they came stronger. They had Phil Jakes, they had Matthew Hayden, Ricky Ponting, Michael Clarke, Michael Hussey, Andrew Simons, Gilchrist, Brad Hogg, Brett Lee, Mitchell Johnson, Stuart Clark. The tantalizing leash that he used to bowl was absolutely brilliant. Sean Tate, the quick Sean Tate. They had Chris Rogers as well. So that was 2007-8. And in 11-12, they had another strong squad. I think one of the strongest that India has encountered, and no wonder they, went down 4-zip. Ed Cowan, David Warner, Sean Marsh, Ricky Ponting, Michael Clarke. Clarke was in the form of his life. Michael Hussey, Brad Haddon, Peter Siddle, James Pattinson, Ben Hilfenhaus, a very, very underrated bowler. Nathan Lyon, Ryan Harris, another underrated bowler, and the young Mitchell Starc. So that was a very, very strong squad as well. Like I said, 1-1 in 2003-4. 2-1 in Australia's favour in 2007-8, and 4-zip in Australia's favour in 2011-12. Now come 14-15, when India toured Australia, what happened was, I think once again we witnessed the transition phase where Mahendra Singh Dhoni had stepped down. It was famously remembered for Dhoni. I remember watching that game at the magnanimous MCG as well. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and we did not have an idea that that was going to be his last test match. He called it quits, and I think India were also in the transition phase. They had a few youngsters in Rahane. Kohli was just being handed over the baton. Dhoni did not even play the first test match, the Adelaide test. Kohli did extremely well. I think he got 692 runs in that series, beating Rahul Dravid. He got 4 centuries. So there were a few good memories, sporadic heroics. We had KL Rahul, who got his maiden test century as well. So there were some performances, flash in the pan performances, but they didn't do extremely well. So let's go ahead and see the squad of Australia then. Again, a very strong squad. They had Chris Rogers, David Warner, Shane Watson. They had Michael Clarke, Steve Smith, Sean Marsh, Mitch Marsh, Nathan Lyon, Brad Haddon, Mitchell Johnson, Peter Siddle, Ryan Harris, Josh Hazlewood, Mitchell Starc, and Joe Burns as well. So that was quite a strong squad, and I think India went down 2-zip in that series. So unfortunately 14-15 wasn't happy hunting for India. But come 18-19, India went with this very, very confident young squad who had the perfect blend of experience and the exuberance of youth. Virat Kohli was in the form of his life. Cheteshwar Pujara had got runs in England. Ajinkya Rahane was playing well. Hanuma Vihari was making his debut. They also had Prithvi Shaw, Mayank Agarwal, who made his debut during that series. So India, and of course Rishabh Pant got 100 in England, and he was coming to that Australian squad, to that Australian tour with a lot of confidence under his belt. So India at that point in time were kind of favourites, and before that series as well, I kind of predicted 2-0 in favour of India. India won it 2-1. I think they managed to lose one test match, but they won 2. So I wasn't too far away from that prediction. But I made that prediction purely based on Australia's squad then. They were quite weak, to say the least. Tim Paine, Ashton Agar, Brendan Doggett, Aaron Finch, Travis Head. Look at these names. John Holland. We haven't heard too many of them, and perform at the test level, at least until that point in time, they hadn't performed extremely well at the test level. Usman Khawaja. Khawaja was quite decent. Manas Labuschagne, Nathan Lyon, Mitch Marsh, Sean Marsh, Michael Neser, Matt Renshaw, Peter Siddle, and Mitchell Starc. They did have, so if you see, there was a pattern. The bowling department did have quite a bit of firepower, but in the 2018-19 series, the batting was found wanting, and they remember in 2018-19 they did not have the two big names in David Warner and Steve Smith. They were still serving that 1-year ban, and you could have easily taken out about 800 to 1000 runs from the Australian kitty, and because of which India did stand a great chance, and hence my prediction of 2-0 in favor of India. But yeah, India won it 2-1 nonetheless, and that was a very, very sweet memory that I think Virat Kohli and the boys will cherish for a long, long time. Now then, in 2020-21, there aren't too many differences in the squad. 2018-19 to 2020-21, Tim Paine is still the captain wicketkeeper. They have Sean Abbott, Joe Burns, Pat Cummins, Cameron Green is a new inclusion, Josh Hazlewood, Travis Head, Manus Labuschagne, Nathan Lyon, Michael Nesser, James Pattinson, Will Pukovski, Steve Smith, Mitchell Stark, Mitchell Swepson, Matthew Wade, and David Warner. So the two big names are back in David Warner and Steve Smith. So India will be prepping really, really well for the two big names. But having said that, we cannot write off the others as well. Manus Labuschagne has been doing pretty well for them over the years. Tim Paine has done a fantastic job as a captain and a wicketkeeper for the Aussies. So this time around, I think the Aussies stand a better chance. Before I go ahead and make my scoreline prediction, let me go ahead and check the Indian squad and read it out to you as well. We have Kohli, who's going to be captaining India in just that first test match, the Adelaide test match, post which he's going to be coming back to India on paternity leave. So in his absence, it's going to be Ajinkya Rahane who's going to be captaining India in test matches 2, 3 and 4. But they have Rohit Sharma, who, sources say that he is uncertain along with Ishant Sharma, but we are yet to get any confirmation on that. So for convenience sake, let's keep Rohit Sharma in that squad. Mayank Agarwal, Prithvi Shaw, KL Rahul, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, Hanuma Vihari, Shubman Gill, Wriddhiman Saha. Thank God Saha is fit. Rishabh Pant is in that squad as well. Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav, Navdeep Saini, Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Mohammad Siraj. I can't stop but blush by looking at that squad. Look at that. I mean, they have some fantabulous bowlers over there. Jasprit Bumrah, who leaves no stone unturned when he bowls. He's got a beautiful seam presentation, a brilliant Yorker. He hits the deck when required. And especially in the Australian summer, when the sun comes down beating hard on you, those surfaces are pretty much like subcontinental surfaces. I wouldn't say exactly, but then they're like 3-4 notches better. The bounce is very true and very, very well suited for guys like Jasprit Bumrah, for Ishant Sharma. So these are the guys, and I'm very excited. I'm very stoked about Mohammad Shami as well, because he's been doing, and of course the ball is definitely going to reverse in Australia. Take it from me, it is definitely going to be reversing. I said this the last time around as well, and we all know that in Australia there is quite a bit of resistance when the ball starts reversing. Mohammad Shami is going to be quite a handful. But yes, like I said, I'm very stoked at the inclusion of Navdeep Saini and Mohammad Siraj. I would definitely like to see them get a game or two. I know it's a very, very good problem to have. Look at that, the good problem in the bowling department and in the batting department as well. Look at the number of opening batsmen we have. We have KL Rahul, we have Rohit Sharma, we have Mayank Agarwal, and we have Prithvi Shaw. Who are you going to pick and who are you going to drop is yet to be seen. We have Cheteshwar Pujara, who did really well in that last series. He top scored for us down under, and Pujara is definitely going to, he's going to be, I think everyone in that squad is raring to go. Shubman Gill, I think Wriddhiman Saha will be their first choice wicketkeeper, provided he is fit. But then I am also very excited to see Rishabh Pant, especially the way he performed down under in the last series. He got that 100 and he was in your face against the Aussies. He did sledge quite well, and that was very, very impressive. So yes, that's the Indian squad. So yes, coming back to the scoreline prediction, in my opinion, India will draw the series, if not win it 1-1. But let's see, you never know. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. I'm going to be breaking down this entire Australian tour for you. The Test series, the One-Day series and the T20s. The next episode is going to be on the it's going to be on the One-Day and the T20 internationals as well. So keep it locked to Out of the Park. My name is Abhishek Shivaram, and you have a great week ahead. Thanks a lot.